Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing something a little bit different today. I am doing this for ByMimiWithLove on YouTube. I'm sorry, I do not know your first name and I will find it out, I'm sure, because you're going to put it in the comments for me. So today what I thought I would do is Mimi has been making some beautiful gnomes, and I said to her in her comments, oh, I've made mice before, and she was like, do a video. So I thought I would. Now these are the ones I made last year. So I made a penguin and this little mouse and then this little snowman. And what I did was some I made quite squishy for little children because I think they like the squishiness of it, and this is particularly good for children with autism because it's nice to kind of play with and squidge with. That's the primary teacher in me coming out. And then the others were quite firm and quite, you know, quite full. So yeah, you can make them either whatever way you want to do it. And what I wanted to do was show you how to make them really basically. A lot of people make them with rice, but you can stuff them full of the wadding if you want to, or oh, I've got to take a slurp of tea. Forgive me, 1 second. Oh, that's better. I'm right by my microphone, so you probably had a big slurp and a gulp, and if you did, I'm really sorry. So I've already covered myself in rice, but if you haven't got rice, this is all I've got left from last year. I'm not really sure how kind of safe it is to use, but I'm going to do it for these purposes anyway, and no children are going to receive these, so that's fine. But all I've done is I've pulled out some socks that I bought last year. These are little children's socks, so these are 9 to 12. And all I've done is I've cut off just about here. Now everybody does this differently, but I've cut the sock about here. And I'm going to show you the best way of filling it. Okay, the way that I do it is I pop it in a jar, like so. And I open up the top, like this. And then I make myself, what have I done with it? I had a funnel and now my funnel has gone. Oh, there it is, look. And then I made myself a little funnel out of card, just made a little cone shape. And I realised also that I needed to cover this part here in the middle. Can you see that? Because otherwise the rice goes down there. So I'm just going to grab another piece of masking tape, and I'm just going to go in and put that there. So I've just made sure that I've got a nice flat cone, and inside nothing can get caught. I pop this in here, and I'm doing this at a really weird angle. The actual phone is right in front of me, so this is quite tricky. Let's turn that round. So, and then I cut the corner of my bag and I just start filling, and I just kind of jiggle that cone until that goes all in. And when I've done that, I lift up my sock and I do that, and then I keep repeating the process until it's the how full I want it to be. Now I've got one that I've already done over here. Oh, it's like Blue Peter. Here's one I made earlier. This one's quite squishy because I'm making a little mouse today. And what I'm going to do is I cut off plenty of the white to help me, because I'm not the best person at doing the little mice and things with not much room. I end up getting rice everywhere because, as you can see, as you try to make the head, it all pushes it up. So I tend not to do that. And the next thing to do is really to tie off the top. Again, this is just what I do, and we need to do that with an elastic band or with some thread. Now what I do is I do it with thread, so let me grab some. Okay, sorry, I had to grab something else that I'd completely forgotten. So also toddler socks go really well with making teeny tiny mouses. I should mention that. Sorry guys, I'm so out of breath and so still not well. You have to forgive me. I just wanted to come on and do a video, so forgive me being out of breath with my asthma and being a bit tired. Oh, excuses. Oh dear. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a little knot here, and I'm going to push it down. Whoops, hang on, let's make sure I do that right. It's because I haven't got elastic bands this year. I've got big ones, but I haven't got little teeny ones, and I can't go out because we're in lockdown. So I'm just going to see how far down I can get that to go. This is going to be fiddly, but you know what? It's worth it. So I might just kind of go down there. Just see. Right, let me get the yeah, let's get this bit done first. This is why you really could do with like the little rubber bands. If you look at Mimi's video, I'm going to call her Mimi because I don't know her name. If you look at Mimi's video, she has got elastic bands which work really well, and then she ties thread over the top in case they disintegrate, so because they do over time. All right, so I've got my first one. I should have used less thread, but never mind. So I'm just going to cut that off, and then at this point I'm going to just trim this piece off here. And you can use this. I'll show you how later, how you can use that. Now I've left a bit here because I'm going to, in fact, I'll trim that just a touch because I'm going to put a hat on him, okay? Oh, and some of my rice has already popped out the top, but that's okay because that's where I tied it. Bum, 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 and you're going to put a hat on top, so don't worry about any rice coming out. If you need to put, in fact, I'll put another piece of thread on just to get that super tight because for some reason that looks like it's going to leak. The elastic bands are the key. Right, let's just really make that tight this time. I think it was just left over from where I pushed it up, that's all. But we'll just make sure. Another piece of thread won't hurt. So there we go. Okay, that's better. So now you're going to have like a little tied up bag. All right. Now when you've done that, you're going to make your little head. And I'm going to make a little tiny head for this one because it's a tiny little mouse. I'm just going to move some of the rice up, and then I'm going to get another piece of thread. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to make my little head. And if it's not right, I can always move my thread down a little bit and grab a little bit more rice. Everybody does this differently, but you know, you're just basically making a little kind of pear shape, and then you're making a little head out of it. So that's a bit small, so let's turn it on its side. That's another way of doing it. And we can push some more up. There we go. So you can see I've got, it's quite a big head actually. Big headed mouse. Let's see, bring you down a bit. This is the bit that's fiddly if you haven't got the little elastic bands. It's a lot easier with those. But, you know, we can't go out. We're in lockdown, so... And I wouldn't risk it. Nope, still too small. Do you know what? I'm going to go with that and have a fat mouse. I think. Let's try and push a bit more. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, once you've created your little head, I tend to pull it at the back. And if you pull it at the back... in one way, it will make the little head push forward. Can you see that? I find that works really well. If you tie at the back there, and then you get this little head that pushes forward, so that works quite well. I hope you can see this, guys, because I cannot see a thing. I can't see anything I'm filming because it's literally in front of my face. Okay, now once we've done that, I'm going to get my hot glue gun out in a second because that's really good for putting everything on. But I just want to show you something I purchased last year on AliExpress. I purchased all these little hats. Now, I don't know if they're still available, but I think these are just so sweet, and they fit your teeny tiny snowman perfectly with a bit of glue. Daisy, can we not? Sorry, she's making her bed again. Just going to cut a little bit of that off again. Just make that a bit smaller. A little squidgy mouse. And yeah, we'll try one of these. They need a bit of stretching, I won't lie, but they fit quite well. And you can turn up the little thing. It's just the glue that you need on these to really make these sit properly. So you can make those, you can grab those little hats, and they work really well on the small ones. If you aren't grabbing hats and you don't know, or they're no longer available on there, you can just get, I've got some Christmas socks here that I bought last year in the spring, so they were discounted, and these are little toddler socks. And all I do, let's just take that little clip on, is I decide to make the little hat from the bottom part. So I snip off that part there, and this part you could use for the body of you could use for another hat, or you could use it for a body of something else, so don't get rid of it. Okay, And then you put your little hat on like so and turn the top up. So whichever way you would like to do it. I mean, I quite like that, having a tall hat on my little man. And you can just, you know, rearrange whatever you've got like that. So you can use the toes, you could get some little woolly hats, literally even just a piece of material that you've glued together. Let me show you what I mean. So let's grab a piece of felt. Okay, so what you could do is if you make a little cone shape, okay, like this, to fit on his head, and then you glue it all together, you pop that onto his head, snip this so that it's level and not like a funny cone wizard hat, and then the top part, all you need to do is cut it into lots of tiny little pieces. Okay, and then you get this little kind of curly effect on top of his head. And you can do the same with a sock as well. This is what I did with this one. So I had, let's do it on this one. So I had this here, like so, and then I just tied it like that. And then let's show you. So what you can do, you know what, this is white on white, and you probably wouldn't do that. So you can put your little hat on, like so. You can grab a little bit of the thread again. Let's just tie this. You can tie, I need to glue him on really, but you can tie this little bit with a piece of thread, like so. And then this top bit, you just snip down until you make this kind of scruffy hat look, like a bobble. And that works really, really well. So whatever you're using, his hat's come off. Oh dear, not enough glue on my penguin last year. So whatever you've got to make the hat, you've got several options. You know, you can buy these little ones, which are very, very tiny. I mean, you can stretch them a little bit, but you're only going to make tiny mice. You can make it with the top part that you've cut off. You know, this is the bottom, this is the top, and you can just make it there. Whatever you've got really will work really well with this. So I'm going to use this one as I've made it. Let's turn it round. He's looking so cute already. And I like the big hat because then I can decorate it with lots of different things. Like on this one, I kind of decorated with the little holly and everything, and I gave him a little scarf and stuff like that. So this works really, really well. Right, let's heat up the glue gun and then I'll show you how to put him together. Okay guys, I really hope you can see this is such a difficult position for filming it. One day I'll be able to sort out my my setup, but not right now. So I'm just going to put some glue where the hat is. I want the front of it to go. So let's just grab that. Whoops, gluey string there. Oh, come on, glue, don't do that. Right, I'm just going to put that there, like so. There we go. Then I'll put a little dab of glue up here. Strings on hot glue gun is just so, I just find them so annoying. I'm sure there's some that you can buy without strings. I have to look into that. Right, okay, so we've got this little puffy hat, and you could fill this full of paper or something soft to make it stand up if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to take these little bits of fluff off. Now I'm going to turn him over, and I'm just going to do the back. Like so. Pull that down. Okay, there we go. There's our little man. And then I have this ribbon I found in my stash, which I thought might make a really pretty scarf to put on him. So I'm just going to measure and just trim that. Oops. Sorry, this is so hard to do. I literally have the camera in front of my face because it's the only way that I can do it with this awful stand that I purchased, which I regret a lot. Okay, let's see, how long is that? So I really want to cover up that in fact that is a little bit long, cover up that where I've attached, you know, made his head. So I'm going to have to trim that, I think. There we go. Going to pull that off to the side like so, and now we're going to put a little dot of glue again at the back of his head. Whoops, it's all right, the roll's fallen on the floor. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. You're going to pick up little pieces from your cutting, so you just be aware of that. I always get some sellotape at the end and just, you know, remove it all from the little man that you've made. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that to the back there, bring it round. Whoops, hang on, stay. And then let's just see how we want to do it. I think we want this bit. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much that it's not exactly where I wanted it. As long as it covers up his little neck, that's what's important. Yeah, that looks quite cute actually. I was going to do it to the side, but I've changed my mind. Let's just pull that a little bit tighter so it covers his, there we go, covers that bit that we just made. I'm going to put another little bit of glue here. Whoops. Glue gun alert. Right, I really don't want to burn myself today. So there we go. And then I'm going to get a little piece of holly, and I don't know, I think I'm going to put that on his hat actually. Maybe we'll put some jingle bells, I'm not sure yet. Okay, so once you've done that, you can then put your little decorations onto his hat. I found a teeny tiny snowman, which I thought would be pretty good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there and try not to burn myself as I put it on his little hat. I don't know where this came from, I'll be honest. This was just in my stash, this little tiny snowman figure. So I'm just going to stick him there. Just hold that there for a minute. I'm going to take away that little bit there. Have some tiny bells. But I think I'm going to put this little piece of holly there. A bit of glue. Whoops. Not quite where I wanted it. Hang on. Oh, no. That was a bit of a mess up. Hang on. Let's take that off. You know me. I'll show you my mess ups. Hang on. Let's try that again. The seagulls are going crazy today. It's because it's so mild. They literally will not be quiet today. It's quite unusual at this time of year. They're not usually as noisy as they are. I don't know why they're particularly noisy this year. Or maybe it's just my imagination, but they just seem really noisy today. Okay, I've got a little bit of glue there, but we can cover that up with a little bell or something. Let's put a little double there. Whoop. What colour bells have we got? We've got a little red one. Little green one. I might put another piece of holly actually. Yeah, I do want another piece of holly. I like that. That's a better way of covering it up. Yeah, that's very pretty. So I've got a little snowman, a little piece of holly. That's lovely. Now, what I did with this one is when I turned it into a mouse is I made little ears. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking snowman. And that's literally all the difference between these is, you know, you just put little ears on his hat. And a little nose, and on this one I just did a little beak, and then we made little wings. Look, the glue's come off from last year. Can tell it was just a demo, a prototype. These were my first goes, you see, so they weren't as good as they ended up being, because obviously I played around until they looked good, and then I gave them away to local disadvantaged children. So that was lovely to do last year. I hope to do it this year, but my health is not I'm not feeling too good at the moment, so we shall see. Okay, now once you've got to that point, you can, as I say, turn it into a mouse, or you can turn it into a penguin. Just use your imagination. You know, you can just put a little triangle beak, little kind of, I just did sort of triangular or oval shaped little wings, and the little feet, I just kind of imagined what a penguin's little feet. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon. Forgive me. Oh dear. hiccups from drinking tea. Yeah, or this one was a little mouse, and I just decided to play around and put little arms on him so he could carry a little sweetie. But yeah, this one I think I'm going to keep as a little snowman. Now, you can do two different things with the eyes. You could put little googly eyes on him if you wanted to, Or if you have any kind of fabric paint, puffy paint, you can actually make little eyes on there. So I'm going to have a go with my puffy paint. Now this may go horribly wrong because I've not done it in a long time, but we'll see. Let's see. I'm just going to grab my puffy paint. If I don't feel confident, then I'm going to use googly eyes because I've not done it in a really long time. So first of all, let's clean our little top there. I'm using this little bit of felt to practice. So this is what I normally do. Oh, see, sometimes you get a splodge. I usually squeeze to the point of it coming out. Let's see. So these are the googly eyes. And then you can create his little face, just like that, okay? And we can put the little triangle on for his orange nose in just a minute. If I've got any orange felt here. If not, I'll go and grab some. Yeah, so it, you know, you can do it like this with the, which takes a while to dry, I have to say, with the puffy paint. Or you can just do it with the googlies, entirely up to you. And if you did it with children, googly eyes is obviously a lot easier. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And with these, I made these out of felt, and I've got two types of felt from AliExpress before. They didn't actually say one was stiff and one was hard, but I got this soft stuff. And then they sent me through this quite hard felt, and I think this was the cheaper one that was on sale, but actually it's really useful for feet and wings and things like that. So, you know, have a search on there and you'll come up with some different types. Right, shall I risk this? Should we go for it? Oh goodness. Right, let's have a go. Okay, I'm going to test it again and get it to the point of it coming out. There we go. Right, so I'm going to do two eyes. And I tend to push down with the nib of the paint so that I can get them to come off. Okay. And then we'll do a little... I like to do little blobs of paint if I can. You know what? I don't even think I want to do a carrot nose for this one. He just looks too cute without it. Should I do a pebble? Yeah. Why not? Oh, look how cute. So there you go. So that's one way of doing it. This is Crayola Craft paint. It's not even, I mean, I've had these for years and I barely use them except at Christmas and things. So they last a really long time. They're still working. They're still fine. So yeah, I definitely recommend using those. Right, let's see, what else do I want to put on him? I have a little present, so you could always like glue a little present or at his feet or something like that. You could even create, if you wanted to, sort of little stick arms, you know, where he could be holding a present if that's what you fancy. I use like a little bit of burlap type ribbon, or you could kind of plait together some string. Anything like that would work. You could use pipe cleaners, you know, and just glue them to the side of him there. Anything at all works, really. This is just the basis for all different kinds of characters, and I'm sure some of you are more clever than me and you can come up with some brilliant ideas on how to create you know, different characters and things. But yeah, he goes quite well with my previous snowman with the nose, so I'm quite pleased with him. But yeah, you could add some little buttons on or some little bells. I've got some little bells here. Anything you fancy, just to kind of you know, jazz him up. I'm just going to put a little bit more glue there. But they're really easy to use, and as I say, to make. And as I say, you don't need to have rice if you haven't got rice. You could use, you know, cotton wool is a really good one. Cotton wool you can kind of order on your shopping, you know, and it's fairly inexpensive, one of those pleats, and you can fill the little snowman socks with those, and they just come out so sweet, you know, they're just lovely. You could put a little bauble or some bells on top of his hat there. You know, you could even sew these ones on because they've got little hooks on them, if that's what you know, if you're good at that. So I hope, Mimi, that has helped you have some ideas of your own for a different character, because her gnomes, if you haven't seen her gnomes, oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous. And I will link the video down below. I will definitely go and do it now because I want you to see it. And I know sometimes I forget, I'm hopeless, so say, oh, I'll link it below, and then I never do. But I promise I will do that today. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that little Christmas DIY. I've got a few bits to decorate today. I may actually just do like a video with some music and just show you what I've been upcycling, because I've got a couple of things that kind of need a bit of TLC from last year. So I'll be doing those. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed that. This one's for you, Mimi. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you all a bit later on. If I put that video up today, it will be on today with just some nice music and you can see what I've been upcycling. If not, I'll put it up tomorrow. In the meantime, have a lovely day. If you're in the UK, well, anywhere actually, it's not just in the UK, but everyone stay safe, stay COVID free and look after your loved ones. See you all soon. Take care. Bye.